Okay, so today we are going to be making a gingerbread house in 1 point perspective. In order to do this, you're going to need a ruler, a paper, and a pencil. So you're going to draw very light. You're going to put your ruler down on the paper wherever you want horizon line to be. The horizon line is where the sky and the ground meet. It needs to be parallel. So make sure it's parallel and then draw your line lightly. Then you're going to choose a vanishing point. A vanishing point is where all the lines in the picture will converge to. So I think I'm just going to put it in the center of my paper or close to the center. I'm drawing all of this stuff lightly so that I can erase it later. Okay, so from here, I'm going to draw a street, kind of like a candy cane lane. So to do that, I'm going to start with my, at my vanishing point, and I'm going to draw a diagonal line on the right side and the left side. This will make it look like a road that's vanishing into space. And because I want there to be a little bit of a front yard for me to decorate, so if this is the street, I need to move a line backwards so I set the houses away from the street. So I'm going to put my pencil back on the vanishing point. I'm going to line my ruler up a little bit further out and draw another line. That will give this as the grass. This will be the street. We can do the same thing on the other side. Now this line will be the front of the houses, like the bottom of the front of the houses. Same on both sides. So then I have to decide how many houses I want on each side. I think I'm going to do two on this side and one on this side. So to do that, I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to make it go vertical towards the edge of the paper, and I'm going to decide where I want my house to start. So I'm going to have my first house start like right about here. It doesn't exactly matter where, just as long as it's on this line. And it's going to go parallel to the side of the paper vertically. And I decide how tall I want it to be. Then I'm going to do another line a little bit further up. And I'm actually just going to do these lines lightly all the way up. I can make them shorter later. This will be the front of our first gingerbread house right here. Our next gingerbread house is going to start a little further down. This is a nice neighborhood, so I'm going to give them bigger yards. So start a little further down right here with another vertical line, and then right here with another vertical line. So right now, at this point, you've got the two fronts of houses. Now I'm going to decide where I want the roof to be. In order to make the roof, it's going to be a little tricky. So I'm going to find the center of my gingerbread and first the front of my first gingerbread house and find the center. You can do that by measuring it, which mine happens to be 3 inches, and half of 3 inches is 1.5. Or you can just look at it and take a guess. I think this looks like half right here. And I think on this one, this looks like half. So I just marked those. From these points, I'm going to draw a vertical line, just go straight up And that's going to be the point of the roof. These lines will be where the highest point of the roof is. Now I'm going to decide where I want my roof to stop. So I think I'm going to put my first roof stopping about here, and my second roof, maybe I'm going to do it, maybe I'm going to do it like right here. That'll be the highest point of my roof. Doesn't matter where you put it. Just put a dot somewhere on the center line based on how tall you want your house to be. Oh, weird. Okay, so now from these center points, we're going to start drawing the tops of the roof. So the top of the roof for this one from this point right here will be parallel to the top of the page. You're just going to draw a straight line backwards from there. And a straight line backwards from here. It's going to stop on this one when it hits the other house. All right, give it a second to, there you go. Actually, this one looks further out. And then I'm going to draw the triangle part of the roof. So I'm going to go from here to here and keep these angles the same. From here to here. And we're going to draw the bottom part of the roof. It'll be like right here, parallel to the top part. And this one is right here, parallel to the top of the roof and parallel to the top of the paper. And you can see you formed the basic shape of your house at this point. From here, we can start erasing some of these lines that we don't need anymore. So I don't need any of these lines that are up here in the sky. So I'm going to erase those. I don't need the lines going through the house. I might keep this center line so it can help me plan out the door. And now I can do the bases of these houses. So like where the side of the house touches the ground, I'm going to draw a line that's parallel to this line. So it's parallel to the roof and to the bottom and top of the paper. So it's going to go from here straight back, from here straight back. And you've created the basic part of the building. Basically, whatever you're going to add to this, whatever you're going to add, it just has to be, if it's a vertical line, it needs to be parallel to the side. If it's a horizontal line, it needs to be parallel to the top. And if you want it to be on the diagonal, then it needs to all line up with the vanishing point. So now let's do the doors. So you're going to take your ruler and you're going to decide where you want your door to be. Like maybe I want my door to stop here, and maybe I want this one to stop about there. Okay. You're going to take your, make your dots. Then you're going to take your ruler and draw from the vanishing point to your line. Draw from your vanishing point to your line, little short line. Okay. And that's how you'll find where the tops of the doors are going to be. And you can do like, this will be the top of this door. Maybe I want to do this one rounded. And if I want to do this one in a square, then, and just make sure your lines are still parallel to the side. You can see this one was not parallel, so I need to correct that one. And to make this one a square door, I'm just going to make it parallel to the walls. And I can erase the center line. I don't need it anymore. You'll do windows the same way as you did the doors. You'll start by deciding where you want the bottom of your window to be. Maybe I'm going to put a window here, and maybe, so I'll start with the vanishing point. Put my pencil on the dot, line it up with the vanishing point. I'll lightly draw my line. I didn't go all the way because I don't need to. I'm just going to stop it when I hit the edge of the building because the windows aren't going to go outside that edge, right? And then I'll decide where I want the top of my windows to be. Put a dot. And do the same thing, line it up with a vanishing point, and this will give me the tops of my windows. And I can start drawing my parallel lines. You can also do windows on the sides and doors on the side, but since those are facing you, they're really simple. They're just squares or rectangles or arches, depending on what kind of shape you want. I think I'm going to do an arch on this one. And make sure your lines are actually parallel to the sides and to the top. If they aren't, and then they will not look right. Okay, so from here, you've got the front of your buildings, you've got the sides. You can emphasize the road by drawing it darker. On this side, we'll do the same thing. We can decide how big, we can add another building. Maybe I just want to do one house this time. Maybe they live across from a park. So I'm going to start by doing the side of the building, parallel to the side of the paper, finding the center of that and drawing another parallel line so that I've got 3 total. Then I'll draw my roof. The top of the roof and the bottom of the roof are parallel to the bottom and the top of the paper. And the bottom of the building is parallel to the bottom of the paper. And from here, you can create your gingerbread village. So if you want to add some, maybe like a candy cane lane, you could do that. Just remember to draw them in perspective. So as things get further away, they get smaller and smaller. And really, you can decorate this now however you like. You can add snow on the roof or icing on the roof by softening up some of the lines. So and don't forget to erase lines that you don't need. So when you're done with a perspective line, you can erase it. And you can decorate your gingerbread house however you like. Make it really cute. If you have time left over at the end of class, you can color it. Just remember, do your best to try to make it as accurate to the perspective lines.